Christopher Nolan's The Odyssey is finally here. But before Odysseus gets lost at sea for 10 years, he first had to survive the biggest war in Greek mythology. And that's where Troy comes in. Now, fair warning, this movie isn't a perfect adaptation of Homer's Iliad. It changes a few characters, compresses a 10-year war into what feels like a few weeks, and leaves out most of the gods. But as a starting point, it's one of the best ways to understand the Trojan War. So if you have never watched Troy or you haven't seen it in years, here's everything you need to know before watching the Odyssey. The movie wastes absolutely no time introducing its biggest weapon, Achilles, played by Brad Pitt. Before we even know who the kings are, we are shown why everyone fears this man. One duel, one stab, one very confused giant wondering what just happened. Achilles isn't a king. He doesn't fight for land. He doesn't even care much for politics. He fights for one thing, and that's glory. As his mother tells him, men are haunted by the fear of being forgotten. Achilles wants the opposite. He wants his name remembered forever. And safe to say, that plan worked.
He's the biggest man I've ever seen. I wouldn't want to fight him.
That's why no one will remember your name.
Meanwhile, in Sparta, we meet two Trojan princes, Hector and Paris. Hector is everything you would want in a prince. Disciplined, respected, and willing to sacrifice himself for his people. Paris thinks with his heart. That's all we can say. While visiting Sparta, Paris falls in love with Helen, the wife of King Menelaus. And instead of leaving alone, he leaves with Helen. Whether Helen was kidnapped or willingly chose Paris depends on which ancient version you read. The movie leans towards the romance, and honestly, looking at Diane Kruger as Helen, you can see why Paris made such a terrible geopolitical decision. Did you know, some historians even debate whether the Trojan War happened exactly as described in mythology. While a real city believed to be Troy did exist, separating history from legend is still a challenge. Helen's disappearance isn't just a relationship problem. It's the perfect excuse for King Agamemnon to unite the Greek kingdoms and attack Troy. Officially, he's fighting to bring Helen home. Unofficially, he's also looking to expand his empire.
An insult to me is an insult to you.
And an insult to me is an insult to all Greeks.
Joining him are some of Greece's greatest warriors, including Ajax, the mountain of a man who looks like he bench presses horses, and Odysseus, king of Ithaca. Now remember that name, because while Achilles is the hero of Troy, Odysseus is the hero of the Odyssey.
Of all the kings of Greece, I respect you the most. In this war, you're a servant. Sometimes you have to serve in order to lead. I hope you understand that one day.
Unlike Achilles, who wins with strength, Odysseus wins with strategy. And we will see exactly why by the end of this movie. The Greeks arrive on Trojan shores, and Achilles is the first one onto the beach. He captures the temple of Apollo almost single-handedly, proving once again why everyone treats him like an entire army disguised as one man. It's here that he meets Briseis, a Trojan priestess. Their relationship is one of the film's biggest additions. In mythology, Briseis is important because she becomes the center of a dispute between Achilles and Agamemnon.
Mighty Achilles, silenced by a slave girl.
Before my time is done, I will look down on your corpse and smile.
But the romance is largely a Hollywood invention. Still, it works surprisingly well. If Achilles is the greatest warrior in Greece, Hector is the greatest man in Troy, and that's what makes him such a compelling character. He isn't chasing immortality. He isn't fighting for fame. He's fighting because his family, his wife, his son, and his entire city depends on him. Honestly, Brad Pitt is fantastic as Achilles, but Eric Bana somehow makes Hector the emotional heart of this movie. As the war drags on, tension between Achilles and Agamemnon explode. Achilles refuses to fight. Then tragedy strikes. His cousin, Patroclus, enters battle wearing Achilles' armor and is killed by Hector. In the film, Patroclus is Achilles' cousin. In ancient literature, their relationship has been interpreted in different ways over the centuries, with some sources suggesting they were much more than family. Either way, his death completely changes Achilles. This is the moment. Achilles versus Hector. Not just the best fight in the movie, one of the greatest sword fights ever put on screen. The choreography feels brutal, and because we understand both characters, it isn't just exciting, it's heartbreaking. You don't want Hector to die, but you also understand exactly why Achilles is here. Achilles wins, but victory doesn't bring him peace. It only reminds him what the war has already taken away.
You're a far better king than the one leading this army.
With Troy impossible to conquer through force, Odysseus comes up with something far more dangerous: the famous Trojan Horse. The Greeks pretend to sail home, leaving behind a giant wooden horse as a gift. The Trojans celebrate, bring it inside the city, and that turns out to be one of the worst decisions in cinematic history. That night, Greek soldiers hidden inside the horse open Troy's gates. The city falls, not because someone was stronger, but because someone was smarter. That's exactly why Odysseus becomes one of Greek mythology's greatest heroes. Did you know, unlike the movie, Menelaus survives in the traditional myths and eventually returns to Sparta with Helen? So yes, after all that, they somehow end up together again. King Priam dies defending his city. Paris survives and escapes. Achilles meets his own end, and one by one the greatest heroes of Greece disappear into history. Except one: Odysseus. Because while everyone else has finally finished the war, his journey is only beginning. So before you watch the Odyssey, here's what you should remember. The Trojan War began because Paris took Helen to Troy. Achilles became a legend because no warrior could match him. Hector became a legend because no man carried more honor. And Odysseus proved that sometimes the sharpest weapon isn't a sword, it's an idea. Winning the war was the easy part. Getting home. That's where the Odyssey begins. If you enjoyed this breakdown, consider watching the director's cut of Troy. It's the version I would recommend if you want the complete experience. And with that, I'll see you on the journey back to Ithaca.